country in the world, and it is worth fighting for. It is worth bleeding for, and if it takes it, it's worth dying for the greatest country that this world has ever seen.
All right. Good morning, America. Ooh, that was a quick one. It sounded good, though. All right. Today's Martin Luther King Day, right?
All day.
Everybody is off, but we are not, because that's how this world works. We take no days off.
That's how we roll.
No, I'm just kidding. We just took like 3 weeks off. Anyway, but the point is, we did all that to get to this point. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special announcement. Not Mexican Tony decided to come back. A round of applause for Not Mexican Tony. He is here.
Right.
He does, in fact, speak English, and everybody didn't threaten to murder him in that regard, which is, kind of how we gauge it, right? If you guys just are basically, I want that guy to die, then we know, okay, well, maybe he doesn't
Bad
fit.
choice.
But at
Bad
the same time, go ahead, what?
Full transparency, nobody told me that was a possibility, that somebody might want to kill me.
If we tell you that,
Bro,
Tony,
you better go and get
then
ready.
You will not come on the show.
You better go on and get ready.
Well, it's too late now. I'm already here.
Yeah, you're committed, man. They know your face. They know everything. All right. Producer Hot Seat Todd is now here.
What's going on, everybody?
Man, look at his new additions. Every time we have another show, you are adding more and more stuff.
Hey, man. You know what? It's what I do.
All right.
It's what I do.
We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. All right. Is the Trump-Vivek love affair over with? A lot of people are really upset that Trump and Vivek are fighting. Shut up. I'm going to talk to you about the reality that is politics, and I'm tired of hearing your whining about things that's ridiculous. Oh, my God. Newsflash, they're running against each other for president of the United States. Like, what did you think was eventually going to happen? But we'll talk about it. All right, we're also going to talk about the fact that we actually have Navy SEALs captured, ladies and gentlemen. Did you know that? Not many people do, because guess what? They're not really talking about it. And I also want to talk about the fact that we got pro-Palestinian rioters literally storming the gates of the White House again, so much so they had to evacuate Congress and all the above because they were scared for their lives. We got a lot of things to talk about and not a lot of time to do it as usual, but business first. We need you to pound that like button. Yeah, I said pound the like button this time.
Hit it hard.
Not just like it. Pound it so it makes everybody else hit the like button too. The more you hit the like button, the more people see the video. If this is your first time watching this show, make sure to hit that follow button. Comment in the live chat. We try to keep up with it as much as possible. And if you think this video is going to offend someone in your life, make sure to hit that share button. Oh, and go Bills. Anyway, shout out to Josh Allen. Shout out to Jordan Poyer. Shout out to A.J. Klein. Brought up off the practice squad to be linebacker today in the game. Good friends of mine. Love those guys. Go Bills today. Anyway, all right, here we go. And we're also going to be addressing this. I'm going to be making a formal statement here of the stuff that broke over the weekend of these influencers that were with Vivek on the campaign trail and some mid-level influencers, some really big influencers, Candace, Benny, and things like that. I'm going to make an official statement because I got the insider baseball on that, and I'm going to tell you the truth. And we're going to be making an official statement, so stick around for that. All right, here we go. So, again, every single day I am reinforced at the fact, I've been trying to warn everybody for forever to stop flying, okay? They're trying to kill the entire world. I truly believe it. It's not going to be a disease. It's not going to be a...
Great.
Oh, you think this is fun? Okay.
I think it's hilarious.
Go to the actual article.
All right.
This came out, and this is as real as it gets. Go to the very top. Biden's FAA. I don't know if you know who the FAA is. Those are the people that are in charge of the flights. Okay, those are people that are in charge of the people that are working on flying. Is it stewardess?
All of it. Air control.
Is that the correct
everything.
name? Everything. Air control. The people are like, oh yeah, you're clear to take off.
All the above.
Biden's FAA is actively recruiting people with severe intellectual and psychiatric disabilities as part of their diversity and inclusion plan.
That's me.
Oh, God.
Tony's going to be the next
pilot.
pilot.
Yep.
The guy who just believes he got peed on by a unicorn before he showed up to work, and now he's the chosen one, is now going to be your pilot for today's
Dude,
flight.
have you seen the commercial? Like I can't think if it's United or Delta or whatever it is. It's like these kids. It's like, yeah, what does it take to be a pilot? Oh, there's a pilot shortage. I'm gonna be your next pilot.
Oh my
bro,
gosh.
it's
Look,
so scary. It's so scary.
I don't even know how much of the actual article I just need to read it one more time. Biden's FAA is actively recruiting people with severe intellectual and psychiatric disabilities as part of the diversity and inclusion plan. Look, man, I'm not saying that people with mental, incapacities or things like that aren't capable of doing things. I'm not saying that. I don't want them flying our airplanes, okay? And or working on our airplanes or telling the pilots flying the airplanes, all clear.
All clear.
You got
You're
about
good to go.
You got about 10 feet. Yeah, you got about 10. Back it on up. You're good. Oh my God. Look, man. Hey, I'm telling you right now, I'm not getting on a plane. I am not doing it. They will not get me. If I go out, it'll be because I was Tony Shift left or right. You see yourself in the camera?
Look at the camera. Other way.
Left or right? There we go. All right. So I'm just saying, look, if I die, it'll be in a car wreck. Well, Graham, you're more likely to die in a car wreck than a plane. Are you sure now? Are we sure those stats are still up to date on the whole plane thing?
I would like to know, like, the new stats, like what the new flying stats are, because they said for years that you like 1/1,000,000th of a chance to die.
I mean, honestly, do you really want to know though?
Yeah, that's before Jeremy wearing the bowling helmet trying to work on the plane. I'm not even trying to be mean, guys. I'm being for real. Look, if you're going in for surgery and the doctor's like, I got this, and he's shaking like this, trying to just shake your hand, do you feel confident in that surgeon performing that?
No, not really.
Take my strong hand.
And let me go
Take
and
my
tell
strong
you,
hand.
I've been a part of that when I got my vasectomy. Doctor had shaky hands.
No,
and I was
dude.
like, bro, you better tighten them things up.
All
You're
right.
going to my happy place.
All right, moving on. To debunk Al Gore and global warming, over the weekend, we found out, in fact, it's still cold in the winter here in the world. This is a shot from Arrowhead Stadium during the Chiefs-Dolphins game, a game in which it was so cold that Patrick Mahomes' helmet cracked from contact.
It cracked.
It was so cold. Global warmers. It was so, and I love the new articles. It went from global warming is hottest planet year on record. 3 weeks later,
negative 17 degrees.
Well, but the article actually read how warm weather can lead to more snowfall. Can't make it up.
I saw an article.
Go ahead.
I got tickled. I saw this little article that had Greta Thunberg. She was like this,
hanging herself.
How much money she was worth, and like she has 8 cars and like a plane and all this stuff.
Yeah,
like, get out of here.
They're all liars. Okay, it was so cold in Arrowhead over the weekend that they were using the refrigerators to keep the drinks warm. Watch this. Watch it freeze.
Dude, that's insane, man.
That's like some the day after tomorrow stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's nuts. That's crazy. That's crazy. Don't worry, we're not talking football for those of you who hate football.
That's a chemistry experiment,
but
right
that
there.
did happen. Okay, real quick. Turns out Egypt has figured out that walls work. They are building border walls now here in Egypt. Egypt built massive parallel border walls and an underground steel wall that extends 60 feet below. No digging under those walls. Their area is patrolled by the military. There's only one checkpoint on the border, and it is guarded by troops and drones. All this is to keep Gazans out. Just play the little video real quick. Why are we the only ones that can't figure this wall crap out? I'll never understand. There you go. You get the point. It's a border wall. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. All right, up next, apparently it's Republicans' fault for border crisis. Let's read a little bit here on our next little thing. Biden says Republicans are to blame for border collapse. Claims there's no crisis of illegal immigration. It's a real statement. At this point, I don't even know what to think at this point.
Well, we have the subject matter expert right there.
Tony, is there a crisis at the border?
Absolutely not. I'm going with I'm reading it right there. It's in black and white. Yep.
It is in black.
Yep.
Joe Biden said that there's not a crisis at the border. All right. Well, the Texas National Guard seems to disagree with that. Texas National Guard has now removed Border Patrol agents so they can take over. Play this video right here of them patrolling our border wall. Okay, pause. Go back to the full video, pause. And Tony, this is where I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it is 2024, is it not?
It is.
How in the world has Egypt put up a better wall in 6 weeks than we have put up since America, since Texas became a state, all this other kind? How is this our wall?
That's because the United States sent our engineers over to Egypt to build a wall over there and said, we need some boats. So let's just put some barbed wire out, just let them all in. So
That's beautiful.
that's exactly how
We
that
need,
happened,
we
yep.
need the
That's
votes.
beautiful.
We
But-
need the votes. Just vault over the thing. I hope
So
that wasn't me.
what you didn't see, like in this video,
Somebody
so
said
this is-
send in the Gators. That's what you said
Ah,
earlier.
I'm telling you, man, it's a moat. So the Texas National Guard went into that park in Eagle Pass that was just loaded.
Yep.
And they literally, within days, built a fence around the park, took the federal government, which is the Border Patrol,
Right.
out, like kicked them out, and will not let the Border Patrol back in.
Yeah, I
Like,
saw that. I don't know if have you guys ever been to Mexico when all the Mexican military is walking around with their M16s or whatever assault rifles are walking around? It's very intimidating.
I've never been to Mexico to
No.
watch
it-
this.
Well, I mean, I've been
happen.
to
Well, it's
Cancun.
very
Does that count?
intimidating. They're walking around the city, kind of protecting all the touristy towns or whatnot, and it's very intimidating. So if that's what the governor's doing in Texas, sending in the National Guard, they're going to look for another way in because you see the military standing out there. They're not going to come through there.
Well, go figure. Turns out guns and military presence is actually a deterrent
Right.
to crossing the border
Possibly.
illegally instead of handing out cell phones and $5,000 in cash and an airplane ticket
Well, it's like
to
what-
go wherever you want to go.
It's what me and you were talking about when we saw this video before the show. Like they had riot shields.
Yeah.
Like riot shields. Like just like
Literally-
bumping people back
Yeah.
into the razor wire.
But that border wall, you literally just throw like a piece of wood over
Yeah,
it.
and
You
just walk right over it.
It's the dumbest. Okay. All right. This next little part is interesting. And this is where you need to hit the share button because this was a captured cell phone video of Vivek. This is not so much about the Trump-Vivek feud. This is about the next article that's coming up. Vivek says something very interesting here that a lot of people were like, dude, what? What is he talking about? And then the very next day, here is some cell phone footage of Vivek having a conversation. Listen very closely to what he says here.
Scared of you. Just
They
like
are.
They're scared of Trump.
Oh,
they are scared.
and they will
of
stop
you.
at nothing, but we're not going to let them get away with it. I've got fresh legs. I'm not wounded. And they're not
That's
going to
true.
let this man do it.
You know, when you
This
said
is why I
eliminate,
won't.
that gave me a chill. Because I'm scared.
Because you think it's false or because you think it's true?
I think it's true. I think they will stop at
It is-
nothing.
I
to
love
stop
the
him.
music.
Stop Trump.
It's sad, but it's the truth. It's the
Listen,
sad, but it's
sad,
the
but
truth.
it's
So I'm
true.
asking you do your part, and we're going to.
You know, when I
We can do
these
this.
polls,
We
when I
can do
this
this.
poll,
Yeah.
They say, how do you feel about the United States? And I say, I'm worried and I'm fearful.
My job that you don't have to feel that way in this country.
But we're losing it.
You think?
We're losing it.
It
And
pains
we
me to
need
hear
people.
that.
We need people like you.
Do-
Young,
we're going to do this,
vibrant.
and that's what our founding fathers were.
Yes.
It's 1776 moment, so I want your support at that Iowa caucus.
And I get emotional.
I'm emotional about this country. I need your support on Monday night. You do this, I'm going to do my part.
Okay, you're picking at my shell. You are.
Yeah.
But you know, I've got.
All right. So this is a very emotional conversation with a person, but he said something very interesting at the beginning. He says, And basically, at the end of it, it says pretty much something like a vote for Trump is a vote for the demise or something like that. And a lot of people got all up in arms about it. Like, what is this guy talking about? Blah, 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 blah. But then this article from NBC comes out, and you can see it here. A network of public interest groups and lawmakers nervous about former President Trump's potential return to power is quietly devising plans to foil any effort on his part to pressure the U.S. military to carry out his political agenda. So basically what's going on, we've got some elites that are now plotting for the return of Trump being president again, that are going to do anything and everything they can to make sure that Trump isn't able to accomplish what they believe his agenda is, which is to have dictator-like military power and take all this stuff. This is, and if you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see our boys Keith and Kevin Hodge. This is literally describing the deep state. That's what this is. So our question here, and we'll go around the room, but also in the chat, I believe that it is very possible that they're going to make an assassination attempt before and immediately after Trump is elected president. Comment in the chat and let me know. Do you think it's a possibility that assassination is on the table for these evil elites that do not want Trump to be in office? Tony, what do you think?
I think anything is possible at this point. I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, it's the way the country's being run right now. And who even knows who's pulling the strings on Biden right now? So it's honestly, I wouldn't put it past them at all.
Todd?
Well, first off, I would like to give you, sir, an applause.
For? What did I do?
Because if you guys did not see our Fearless Leaders interview on Jesse Waters the other day on Fox News, absolutely called out in front of the entire nation everything that we're talking about right now. Number one, not only do I think it's possible, I think that's the only shot they have at beating him at this point.
Yeah,
because every time they indict him, every time something, they throw something at him, every time they do put him in the news, his poll numbers just continue to rise.
Yeah, I agree. It's the only play they got left. And the thing is, I don't have an issue with Vivek and what he's saying. In fact, I've been very honest. I think Vivek's saying a lot of the right things. I don't think that you can say the things that he says without seeing things clearly. And so I do. I think Vivek has a bright future, just not right now. And we'll get into that here in a minute. But before we get moving here, we got to get into our sponsor for today. And that sponsor is the Wellness Company. Todd, hit it. All right. Did you know that close to 90% of pharmaceuticals in the U.S. are produced outside of the U.S.? So what happens when the next global crisis strikes? Countries clamp down on exports. They stockpile. The price of imports rise, and the pharmaceutical shelves in America are empty. There are a few four-letter words that highlight what everyone should have in an emergency: guns, gold, food, and meds. Meds are where the Wellness Company can help. About 250 million prescriptions are issued every year in the U.S. for amoxicillin alone. It's a staggering number, and statistically speaking, you or someone in your family is going to need a prescription for amoxicillin or something like that within the next year. The Medical Emergency Kit from the Wellness Company has 8 prescription medications inside a compact and convenient box. It's like having a pharmacy in your bathroom. Antibiotics, antivirals, antiparasitics. It has things like amoxicillin, ivermectin, Z-Pak, things you know you will need. All you got to do to get this, to prepare yourself and protect your family, is head to wc.health/Graham and grab your medical emergency kit right now and use the code GRAHAM, that's GRAHAM, and save 10% at checkout. Ordering couldn't be simpler. This is a huge thing that you need to do to protect your family. Go to twc.health/Graham today, promo code GRAHAM. All right, now this next little topic, we go ahead and warn you. We have to bring it to you because, ladies and gentlemen, I truly, truly believe that there is a spiritual, evil, demonic attack on our world and our country right now. This is not for your children to listen to.
No.
Get them out of the room right now. This is things that I don't like to bring to you guys, but it's things that absolutely is necessary that we must talk about. A story broke about, well, the only thing I know to do is just play it, and then we will discuss it. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to pray for the soul of this country. We need to pray for the soul of this nation and the souls of this world, because demonic evil is running rampant amongst us. And this is even further proof to the point. Again, warning, this is not for the faint of heart. Todd, play it.
Two toddlers were allegedly sexually assaulted in a bathroom at the Galleria by multiple men. One of the men was a mall employee. Fox 26's Natalie He is joining us now live from the Galleria with the disturbing details. Natalie.
Well, Anthony, court documents reveal that there were up to 7 men involved in the sex assault. It apparently happened at one of the public bathrooms here at the Galleria Mall. And tonight, one local organization has an important message for parents.
The FBI has arrested Arthur Hector Fernandez III and charged the 29-year-old with sexual exploitation of children. Fernandez is pictured here on his private Instagram with the username Allegedly Hector. His account was named in court documents that detailed the disturbing allegations that he and at least 6 other unidentified men sexually assaulted and raped a toddler at what appeared to be a Galleria Mall bathroom. Court documents say last month the Australian Centre to Counter Child Exploitation reported 4 explicit videos found on the dark web to the FBI, in which at least 2 toddlers, ages 2 and 3, were filmed being sexually and verbally assaulted by multiple men at once. Relatives of the toddlers told investigators Fernandez was a friend and fellow Galleria employee who offered to watch the kids while they were at work at the mall.
Wow.
All right, I'm just going to say it. I'm going to death penalty for all of them. The end. Quick court, death penalty. Any, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, at the very, very least,
Forced castration.
Castration. Period. Yeah. Period.
Life in prison in general pop.
Yeah, general pop. Because here's the thing: like when it comes, and we talked about this when the
in a public place, too.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I just can't. This was in a public restroom in a mall.
And this is how bad it gets. In prison, where the worst of the worst are. Murderers, rapists, drug lords. They find out you're a pedophile, you're dead.
That was tough to hear. I mean, you guys
you're
know.
dead. So when the worst of the worst knows it's wrong, boy.
Yeah, that was really tough for me to hear. You all know that I have daughters, and I think what should be done is get all those men in a room together, get the family of the toddlers that were abused, get all their family members, and let them decide what to do with them.
Let them have at it, man.
Let them have at it, man.
Hey, you got 10 minutes. We're gonna lock this door. You got 10 minutes. Here's a bat. Sorry, a Negan bat on top
There
of
you
that.
go, a Negan bat. Yep.
Look, man. Hey, there are very few things in this world where, one, I do believe in the death penalty. Some people get mad. Oh, you're a Christian. You believe it? Yeah, I do. Literally, read a Bible.
Some people just need killing.
Read a Bible. It's in there. Like you are constrained to the laws of man in the decisions you make in this life. But there are some people that I believe that death is too easy of a punishment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
I just really do. I don't think swabbing your arm with alcohol before they inject you with a lethal cocktail, which makes no sense. You
just go to sleep peacefully.
No.
No, I say put you in a room with a rope hanging from the center, set the whole room on fire, and that's your only way out. And when you get almost to the top, cut the rope.
I'm sorry, dude. I mean, there's very few things that turn on this primal thing within me, much like one, hurting a child, but then sexually doing anything to a child. Castration with no sedatives at all. Freaking, like I said, once that's done, put them in there with, like I said, let the parents. Hey, man, you got 10 minutes. If they make it out, that's your choice.
I think whatever happens to them, it's going to be too easy with the damage they've done to those kids.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
Ruined for the
Yeah,
rest
for
of their
sure.
life. Anyway, comment in the chat and let us know what you think. Do you think
they're
do you
all
think-
pretty much
Do you
saying
think
the
we're
same thing.
crazy? Is it a non-Christian? Here's a question. Is it a non-Christian principle to believe in justice here in the world, which is a finite life that we live? But there's also an eternal punishment as well. Do I believe that there are people on death row who are going to heaven? Yes, I believe that is possible. I believe that you can find the Lord and you can repent and your soul can be radically changed by God. But you still have to pay for your decisions that you made here on earth.
Fact.
And so, yeah, I believe 100% that you can be a Christian and you can be pro-life and also be pro-death penalty, because there are just some people, man. And the Bible's actually very clear about that. But
amen to that.
But either way. All right, comment. Let me know what you think about that. All right, we're at the halfway point. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. All right, let's jump to the Trump Vivek stuff. I guess we can talk about the strikes in Yemen really quick. Todd, lead us through that.
Okay, so let me get this up real quick. All right, I'm going to put us all three on here. So apparently there was a coordinated attack between UK and America. Doing attacks, hitting multiple locations in Yemen. We have a couple videos.
Yeah, let's show that.
Just to show. Well, that was quick. All right, so there's one. Woo. All right, and here it is.
Wow.
That's a big boom. But what's funny about these attacks is now the Democratic Party they're coming after Biden hard.
Yeah.
Like
it's the War Powers Act. Yeah.
That you did not have the authority to do this. But I will say this, the person that made the most sense was Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Really? MTG. What she have to say?
And in her article, you can see right here, she says, after Biden ordered U.S. airstrikes in Yemen, millions filled the streets of Yemen in anger. And you can see this right here. I don't have to play this clip. You can see all these people right here. And she calls out Speaker Johnson. And she says, you better make dang sure that H.R. 2, the most important part of his talks, because these people can enter our wide open, and many of them already have.
Yeah,
so,
and Marjorie Taylor Greene has already threatened a motion to vacate the chair on Mike Johnson. Go ahead.
But that's a scary premise right now. I mean, I wouldn't say I wouldn't. I agree with Marjorie Taylor, but I think we need to be even more worried because those people are already here.
Yeah.
If
that happened to us, we would view it as an act of war,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
So at what point do people view it the same way? And then we are in World War III. A lot of people believe everything that they were worried about Trump doing, Biden is doing, or Biden has done. Opening up the gates to World War III, all of the above.
Yeah, what do you guys feel? I'd like to know your opinions on us striking Yemen, because, I mean, in my opinion, you keep poking the bear, you're gonna get mauled. And if they're attacking ships in the Red Sea over there, then
I mean, I think that, I mean, if we go all the way back to when we first put all the the posturing and everything from when Israel and Iran and all these things started happening, I think, like we said back then, you are opening the door for a tinderbox to go off.
Yeah. Well, and there was also footage, and I don't, I didn't read it too much, but there was footage that Yemen boarded a U.S. oil tanker and overtook it. So if that's the case, then yeah, okay, you got to do what you got to do, because that could hurt all of Americans once you see gas prices going up to $7 a gallon. But I don't know, man. I don't think we're in any position right now to attack anybody, simply because, I mean, you got 300,000 just in the month of December alone.
Yeah, no. We are not in a place to win any
not
war,
at all.
any battle of any kind. All right, let's jump to it. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. As you guys know, the Iowa caucus is tonight. By about 9 o'clock Eastern time, we will know who wins the Iowa caucus. But there has been a lot of stuff that has transpired over the past week, and especially over the weekend. Hang on, I gotta put do not disturb on this stupid phone. Okay, either way, so I'm gonna give you as much insider baseball as possible, but we're gonna talk about these things. Okay. This is a New York Post article here. A lot of people have been assuming that Vivek is going to end up being Trump's VP pick. This is Jason Miller down here on the bottom left. For those of you who don't know Jason Miller is just about as tight to President Trump as anybody will ever be. In this article, Jason Miller says there is zero chance that Vivek is the VP pick. If Jason Miller says that, you can take it to the bank. There is zero chance that Vivek is Trump's VP pick. Do I believe that there is a position on Trump's cabinet for Vivek? Yeah, I do. I believe that that's a possibility. But the idea that that Vivek's going to be the VP, it's not going to happen. And anyway, but we're moving on here. So this is Laura Loomer. She's starting talking about some things that have some legitimate merit to it. These are things that sometimes when campaigns are going on, they seem like random things that are happening, but then when you look at them all in line in succession, it starts to play a little bit different of a playbook here. Laura Loomer points it out like this: it's psychological manipulation, it's also plagiarism, but I know none of the paid influencers will say anything about that. We're going to talk about the paid influencer thing in a minute. We should just be able to be honest about these things. How is this originality? Newsflash, it's not. Same logo, but same hats, same policies. So apparently Vivek 2024 is selling truth hats in the exact same style model as the MAGA hats, right? And same block lettering and all of this other stuff. Now scroll down. Isn't the next part Jake Paul?
No, that's the next
Okay,
article.
next one. Okay, go to it. All right, here's another one. All right, this is Laura Loomer again. Everything Vivek Ramaswamy does, Trump did first. That's why MAGA has tolerated him. Trump did it in 2021. Plagiarism isn't hard work. All right, so there is Trump with Jake Paul, and go down.
And there he
was
is.
this last night or is this tonight?
Tonight. Well,
okay, yeah. So it's tonight. Trump or Vivek is doing a Instagram live with Jake Paul. What's the next article?
That is Laura Loomer going after Benny.
Okay. All right. So, all right. And here's where I'm going to make an official statement, okay, before we get into any and all of this. Some of you, and comment in the chat and let me know, some of you may have seen this. Some of you, this may be newsflash, but over the past week, and especially over the weekend, there were a lot of conservative influencers that were in Iowa. Most notably, Candace, most notably, Benny Johnson. There was also Malcolm Flex. There was Isabel Brown. There was all these other people that were there. And so I want to tell you the insider baseball and be very honest and transparent with you guys. We also were contacted by Vivek's team. Personally, we were contacted by Vivek's team. And it started out as, hey, we'd really like to get, an interview with Vivek. And I was like, okay, sure. Full transparency. I have no problems with that. If Ron DeSantis wanted to have an interview, I'd do it. But I'd ask him the hard questions, just like I was going to ask Vivek the hard questions. Treat them with respect, but also ask the hard questions. I was very interested in an interview with Vivek. So I initially said, sure, we can talk about it. Let's figure out how to get that interview going. And then it turned into, well, what they would like was and again, I'm not saying this was a nefarious act. This is politics, and this is why you got to be smart. You got to know politics. Then it turned into, well, we'd like you to come to Iowa for a day or two, ride around on the tour bus with Vivek, go to a couple campaign stops, and then, we'll do the interview from the tour bus. And that's when I was like, no, I don't really think that's a good idea. And I was very honest with the Vivek team. I said, hey, I need you guys to know I'm voting for Trump in 2024. Do I think Vivek makes a lot of good points? Yes. Do I think he has a bright future? Yes. But there ain't nothing you can do that's going to sway my vote or my support for Donald Trump in 2024. And it was met with, an understanding of, hey, we get it. We completely understand. Just, we'd love to get this interview. I said, well, I'd love to get the interview as well. So let's figure it out. I said, I'm going to turn it over to my PR team and we're going to talk internally. You can talk to them and then we'll figure it out. It turned into, we'll fly you out, put you up in a hotel, all this stuff. And I said, absolutely not will we do that, because I know no. The answer is no, we will not be doing that.
They were trying to wine and dine you.
If I go to Iowa, I'm going to pay for myself to go to Iowa. But I was also very honest. I don't want to go to Iowa because I got this show to do. Vivek can call in and we can get him on the show. Long story short, we decided not to do it. We made the decision, no, this doesn't feel right. It could be viewed as us endorsing Vivek, which is not the case. It's bad. It's just, we just need to stay away from it. If Vivek wants to come on the show, he is more than welcome. And we extended that back to Vivek's team. As you can imagine, you have not seen an interview with Vivek on the show. And now, exactly what I expected to happen has now happened.
Scorched earth.
All of these influencers that went for it, whether their intention was to put support behind Vivek or not, it doesn't matter. This is politics, and this is public opinion. Now, I know Benny Johnson personally. I'm not going to say anything bad about Benny. I got nothing bad to say about Benny. Whoever posted the original tweet, whether it was true or not, that he was on the campaign trail with Vivek, probably not the best of decisions.
Ruh-roh.
But again, what we're going to get into it here, there's three things people need to know. You need to either A, understand politics, and you've got a lot of influencers that have no freaking clue what they're talking about. I ran for Congress, got my butt kicked, all right? But it taught me a lot, okay? There's other people who just don't give a crap. And then there's people who know politics, and they know the repercussions, and they just don't care. Now, this is not me saying that Benny Johnson or anybody like that are any of those people. I'm just giving you the insider baseball of what actually transpired between the teams. Now, if I had to guess, Benny had a very similar response to me. No, you're not paying me to come out there. I'll pay for my own self to go out there, and I want to get you on my In the Arena show. And I'm just being honest. Benny ain't an idiot, okay? That's what I would imagine actually happened. But this is politics, and it has turned into this. All right, so the original tweet was deleted, as we know. And it started this infighting. And that's the thing, man. Golly, just stop going for the videos and just let the virality of a video go sometimes. Like, you don't have to do everything. But now we got this. Laura Loomer to Benny. Stop it now. I'm so sick of this disloyal crap. You literally tweeted a soft endorsement of Vivek Ramaswamy, and you said you were campaigning with him ahead of the Iowa caucus tomorrow. Then I called you out for being disloyal to President Trump. You got destroyed in the comments, so you deleted your tweet and lied and said you're making a documentary. Again, I'm not saying Benny lied. That may be true. Okay,
could be.
And again, but it doesn't matter. This is politics, whether or not. That's why at the end of the day, we said, hey, if you want, we would love to get an interview. But you're coming on our show. We ain't going to your show.
Yeah, there you go.
Like that's just the way it is because we're voting for Trump in 2024. All right, so stop trying to flex, blah, blah, blah. And then she goes on and said, remember when you went to the governor's mansion in Florida for the social media influence dinner with Ron DeSantis and Christina Pushaw, where they plotted their paid influencer strategy to attack President Trump. Now, again, I don't know if that's true or if that's what happened. I just know that... It's not good. And Benny was not the only one. Candace was there. There were a lot of people that I know that was there. And if they're voting for Vivek, hey, I support that decision 100%. But I need you guys to know, before you're crucifying everybody, I need you guys to know the insider baseball of what happened. Obviously, we were not in Iowa. And obviously, we did not get our interview with Vivek here on the show, which tilts me towards the side that they were going to try to do some kind of spin campaign with us. Oh, Graham Allen supporting Vivek and all this other stuff. And that's why we didn't do it.
Well, but you gotta give Vivek credit. Like, I mean, it's brilliant. You know, you get 10, 15, 20
brilliant
influencers as big as Benny, as big as, you know, us, even Laura, which that would never happen, Jake Paul, to get the word out, to start talking about it. You know, I mean, that's brilliant. I mean, it is.
And again, if Benny's voting for Vivek, I got no problems with it. Candace is voting for Vivek. Me and Candace don't agree on everything. I am not in the business of telling people who they should support and who they shouldn't. That's what I love about this country. You can vote for whoever you want. But if that was not the case, and if you're voting for somebody else and now you're dealing with this, well, we got to be smarter than that. We got to be smarter than to fall hook, line, and sinker into situations where we could get ourselves in trouble. And again, I say that saying Benny's a friend. I got nothing but respect for Benny. Me and him have always been really good for each other. And I don't believe that Benny is a paid influencer for Vivek. Again, if I had to guess, he had the same response that I had. You ain't paying for nothing for me. In fact, he's even made a statement. Go look at the FEC reports. You will not find Benny Johnson's name on there anywhere. Which is the way it should be.
Well, and he probably wanted the same thing that we did, is just the gates open, so more people get our show out there, more people get, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I would sit Charlie Manson in that chair right there and interview him if I had the opportunity.
AOC has an open invite on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's never taken me up on it.
Omar, come on. Rashida Tlaib, come on.
I would love to. Tony, what's your thoughts?
I was going to say, for people who aren't in the know, and the only reason I am is because I hear the insider information from Todd, from Zach, from you, Graham. For the masses out there who are just reading the articles coming out and whatnot, this whole spin campaign of what's happening, really, they don't know any better, or I should say, I didn't know any better either until, like I said, I started being here on the show. So it is a brilliant, like Todd said, it is a brilliant way to try to get votes or even talking about you, because as everybody knows, even negative attention is still attention on you.
Well, and again, it's the way of the world right now.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, because let's be real. I mean, nobody's watching CNN anymore. Hardly anybody's really watching Fox News, but what they are watching are people like us, people like Benny, people like Laura and the twins, Officer Tatum. That's who they're paying attention to.
And I agree 100% with people on here. There is nothing wrong with interviewing and having conversations with opposition, and we will always welcome that on this show. But riding around on a campaign bus, making stops at campaign stops, that is a whole other thing.
Then you're on the borderline of selling out.
Well, how can you view that as any? I was invited to Nikki Haley's announcement personally. Hey, we'd love for you to come to Nikki Haley's thing. Front row, blah, blah, blah. Me and Nikki Haley have had a good personal, friendly interaction every time we met with each other. But we made a decision. No, well, we're not going to do that. We're Trump 2024, and we're not going to go to that either. So there's two. There's two people right there we told no to. And if it tells you anything about Ron DeSantis, the only campaign that ain't reached out to me, period, Ron DeSantis ain't reached out to me one iota of a bit, because Ron DeSantis, I'd straight tell him what I think.
Well, and at the end of the day, I don't really think the other candidates really want us to do anything, because I mean, I can totally see all three of us going, look, he's a good dude, and everything he says is right. Same thing we say on the show. Everything he's saying is right. But that's still not swaying my vote.
Can you go to my Twitter page really quick? And another thing, the very first thing that pops out, I just want to show everybody something real quick. And we're fixing to move on, but this is very important, because what I've seen is a lot of influencers are refusing to do what I'm about to do now. So I need every one of you to hit that like button, share this video, because I'm fixing to make this known. The very first thing, very top thing, right there. Okay, go ahead and show it. All right, so this is Donald Trump, the president, reposting my remarks about Donald Trump on Jesse Waters on Friday night. Okay, so I'm going to say it here. I'm going to say it very loudly, cannot take it back. I, Graham Allen, 1,000,000% endorse President Trump for 2024. There is no backdoor stuff on this end. I do not want to see how the tea leaves fall and all this stuff. Trump had my vote in 16. He had my vote in 20 when the election was stolen from us. And he had my vote the second I knew he was running again for the third time. I am Trump 2024 all day, every day. Go back to that thing on Twitter. And thank you, Mr. President. And thank you, Mr. President's team, for watching the show and paying attention and supporting us the way that you do. And we're going to continue to support you in that regard. All right, moving on to this Trump-Vivek feud that everybody seems upset about. Okay, here we go. Here was the first tweet, and we're going to go to all three of us here because I want to hear everybody's thoughts once we run through this thing. All right. After all the influencer stuff started happening, all of a sudden, Trump on Truth Social said this: Vivek started his campaign as a great supporter, the best president in generations. Quote, unfortunately, now all he does is disguise his support in the form of deceitful campaign tricks. Very sly, but a vote for Vivek is a vote for the other side. Don't get duped by this. Vote for Trump. Don't waste your vote. Vivek is not MAGA. The Biden indictments against his political opponent will never be allowed in this country. They are already beginning to fall MAGA. So a lot of people considered that as a shot across the bow. Before we move over to the next thing, which is Vivek's response, y'all's thoughts. What do you think about that? Does that bother you? Do you not like it? What do you think about what he said?
I think it's smart. I mean, he's coming out and he's telling all of Vivek's voters, you're pretty much wasting your time voting for anybody else besides me. And obviously, we could all pretty much not guarantee, but it's pretty much a shoo-in that Trump is going to get the nomination. And yeah, I mean, it's a smart business move, honestly.
Well,
Todd?
look at the brilliance. I'm talking about seeing the forest from the trees that Vivek has done here. Number one, he's the only candidate throughout every single one of these debates that hasn't gone after Donald Trump, saying that he was the best president, saying that he's been wrongfully indicted. I mean, time after time after time. So if Vivek is doing some sly, shady stuff that the former president is saying, it's brilliant. Because what happens if Trump is found guilty, is put in prison, then you've got Vivek, who is the only one.
You can run for president in prison.
Yeah, but he's the only one that has been on Trump's side, while the rest of them have denounced him, have hated on him, have said, he should be in jail. He's, this, and that, and the other.
I think you've said, Graham, many times on the show that you think Vivek has a bright future ahead, not just this year.
Absolutely.
I said that to his team.
Agree.
I've said that publicly. I've been very honest about it. Let's go to Vivek's response here. All right, this was Vivek. Yes, I saw President Trump's Truth Social post. It's an unfortunate move by his campaign advisors. First of all, Truth Social, that's all Trump. There ain't no campaign if
that's him.
If it was written on Truth Social, that was Trump writing it on Truth Social. I don't think friendly fire is helpful. Donald Trump was the greatest president of the 21st century, and I'm not going to criticize him in response to this late attack. Correct, because you want a cabinet position, and that's very fair. This is very strategic. Now, this is Trump just this morning on Truth Social. A vote for Vivek is a wasted vote. I like Vivek. Almost like I've said. I like the guy. But he played it too cute with us. Caucus is tonight. Vote for Donald J. Trump. Build up the numbers. In November, we must take our very troubled nation, a nation in decline, back from crooked Joe Biden and the radical left Democrats and thugs who are destroying it, MAGA. This is poetry. And this is art. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the thing. And I'm going to read you why when Trump says a vote for Vivek is a wasted vote. And I'm going to explain to you how politics works. And I'm not trying to demean your intelligence or anything above. This is why you need to share this. Look, people are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that Trump and Vivek are fighting. They're running against each other for president of the United States. And the Iowa caucus is tonight. Can't all the candidates just be friends and love each other? No! That's not how politics works. This is politics. They're running against each other. Trump saying I like Vivek is as nice as it's ever going to get. The end. Period. Case in point. And look, here's the reality of this situation even further. Okay, after tonight, Vivek, DeSantis, Haley will probably stick around because she's got some meetings with some big old rhino deep state mega donors on the 30th. But they're gonna be gone in the next couple weeks. That is the reality.
Mm-hmm.
And people get mad at me. They're like, oh, Graham thinks we shouldn't vote for people. We're going to lose our democracy. First of all, you're a moron. Anybody that says we're going to lose our democracy is a moron because we're not a democracy. We're a constitutional republic. So I automatically don't respect your opinion. Two, I'm serious. If you can't even get that right, we got nothing to talk about, okay? Well, we just don't because you don't know enough about what you're talking about. This is politics. Okay, and they want all this infighting. They want all this crap to happen to divide us because Big Mike is coming around the corner. Let's go to the Washington Post article here. All right, click on the link. Let's open it up. I want you to read deception in its true form. Washington Times, picture of the Vivek. You got to click out all these ads. Spoiler alert. Ramaswamy threatens to dash Trump's huge win in Iowa caucus. Now, what does that make you think when you read that? Tony, what do you think when you read that? What do you think they're trying to make people think? Do you think that sounds like Vivek has a chance to beat Trump? Is that what they're trying to make it seem like?
It seems like that's what they're trying to do.
All right. Yep. But let's go a little bit further down in the article here and find out the realities of this thing. All right, keep going. Right here, I believe, is where it should be. No, maybe it's down a little bit more. Read the whole thing. Look for the percentage. Oh, crap. Where's it at? Ah, there it is. Okay. His campaign is significantly encountered. That's not the point. Okay, here it is. The big question is whether Mr. Trump's opponents can hold Trump below 50%. Pollster Ron whatever said. Anybody who takes vote from him is a factor, especially Ramaswamy. Okay, that's the reality. Mm-hmm. It's not in question whether or not Trump is going to win Iowa. Trump is trying to win Iowa for over 50% for one of the largest, if not the largest, Iowa wins in the history of the Iowa caucus. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that Vivek might not do that, but there is still zero shot that Vivek, Haley, or DeSantis has any chance of beating Trump and getting the delegates out of Iowa. Zero. Nothing. Nada, zero. And so when people like Trump and when people like me saying you're wasting your vote, that's what we mean. Of course you have the right to vote for whoever you want to vote for, but all you're really doing is it's like a point spread of a game. We all know that this team is going to win. It's just a matter of how much.
And at the end of the day, like, you know, it's like we said, we don't care who you vote for, whether it's, you know, Vivek, Haley, you know, or even Biden or Mike, Big Mike. But for the conservatives and the Republican Party, tonight's the tell-all. Like, tonight is the tell-all. After tonight, when this is all said and done,
if they're still in the race, go ahead.
If Trump destroys these people, then all this bickering and complaining between the parties and between voters, it needs to stop. And that's where the Democrats get us.
That's what I've been trying to say.
That's where they get us.
It is time for us to stop this
We
nonsense.
got to do this.
Correct.
We got to do this.
All right, this is Trump. This got him in good and hot water last night, where he basically says you can't sit home. If you're sick as a dog, even if you vote and then pass away, it's worth it. Let's play it.
I love this man.
So if you want to save America from crooked Joe Biden, you must go caucus tomorrow. The first step. Look at the first step. We're going to do it. We're going to do it.
Captain. I love
you can't
that
sit home. If you're sick as a dog, you say, darling, I gotta make it. Even if you vote and then pass away, it's worth it.
All right, pause.
If you're sick.
All right, so that's what the left stream media is all about. And my reaction to that is once you die, your vote's going to magically become Democrat anyway.
Yeah,
so you might as well go to the polls
a fact.
and try to make your voice heard, because the second you die, you're going to vote Democrat. This is politics, people. Mm-hmm. Politics across the board. All right, we got to run really quick through these things super fast. All right, we've got Navy SEALs that are missing in the Gulf of Aden. Let's play this. No one's talking about it.
We received that report about 2 Navy SEALs missing off the coast of Somalia. They were attempting to board a small ship believed to be carrying weapons from Iran to Yemen. What is the status?
As far as we know, that search is still ongoing for those 2 sailors that are in the water, and we hope to get some updated information today. But we're obviously watching this very closely.
But this is directly related to what is going on.
This was not related to the strikes in Yemen. This was normal interdiction operations that we've been conducting for some time to try to disrupt that flow of weapon supplies to Yemen. So it's not related to the strikes that we took against the Houthis.
But still, in this region, the Houthis, as you just mentioned.
Pause it.
Well, let me go on and tell you, bud. The strike didn't help those sailors.
No, and so join us in praying for those sailors right now, those Navy SEALs and their families. Unfortunately, we do have to move on, and we will keep you guys updated with that. All right, the White House is under siege again. Here's videos of yet pro-Palestinians trying to storm the most important building in America. Play it. Look at the fence. Look at the fence. Break it down. Why are we not shooting these people? Pause it. You know what would stop this right now? A bullet straight to the face of one of them.
Or just one rubber bullet.
Straight right here in the middle to one of them. And they just
taser.
Some tear gas. Would work
water
wonders.
cannon.
Look.
Anything.
They're now investigating people in January 6th that were just standing there.
Yeah.
But yet, this is okay. This is what we allow. This isn't a insurrection. This isn't an attack.
Insanity.
Craziness.
Yeah, I don't understand.
All right, what does Texas do to protesters? So here you go. Here's Governor Greg Abbott, and a protester pops up, and this is just a good example of the difference between Texas and the White House, I guess.
Texas don't play, man. Yeah. Got you, buddy.
Look at that. Get him! Battle Royale! Battle Royale!
Time to go, son.
Battle Royale!
I don't know where you got to go, but you got to get the heck out of here. Bye-bye.
That dude got straight up run up on.
Yes, he did.
He gone.
All right, real quick, we're coming towards the end of the show. This is, what is this? Oh, this is Trump supporters already standing in the snow. Check this out. This is crazy.
So people are already lined up. It is freezing cold here. The event starts at noon. It's 8:30 in the morning right now.
8:30 in the morning.
That, I literally can't even feel my face. It's so cold. But people are lined up to see President Trump. And you know, Iowa.
All right. And then last but not least, this video of DeSantis getting a participation trophy is quite possibly the greatest thing that has ever happened.
This is so great.
In our lives. Here we go.
Real quick, before we get started, thank you, everyone. Governor DeSantis, I want to present to you this participation trophy. Probably not going to win the election, right? But we're proud of you for trying.
Oh, man.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry. He's special.
Burn.
And he's our little snowflake.
Man.
Man,
All
you
right.
massive
And
burn
then last
right
but
there.
not least, latest polls. Here we go. This is from our friend Cat Turd. Final Iowa caucus poll. Trump has largest lead. I can't read it now.
Sorry.
Largest lead in Des Moines Register history. Can we click on the article link there real quick? All right. Final Iowa's largest lead in history. Let's see what the numbers say. Let's go down just a little bit here. Keep going. Keep going. Trump has a plus 28 lead. It's the biggest recorded lead in any final pre-GOP caucus in the history of Des Moines Registry. We got Trump right now. The belief is Trump will be at 48%. Of course, Trump wants to be at 50%. So again, back to that article where they want you to think that Vivek actually has got a shot. It really just is, it keeps him from 50%. But the way it's going to roll right now, go back down to the breakdown. They got Trump at 48, Haley at 20, DeSantis at 16, Ramaswamy at 8. No one has a chance. He's got a 28-point lead against Haley, and he's got a 40-point lead against Ramaswamy. That's when we say a vote for that is a waste We're not talking about you don't have the right to do it. We're just trying to tell you the truthful information. Tony, somebody that's new to the show,
yes, sir,
and it's new to this type of insider information and things, what would you like to tell people that, don't hear the behind the scenes stuff that you get, privy to these days? I guess what I'm trying to say is there more deception out there, or is there more deception in here? And no, your job does not depend on this. Tony's in here to disagree with us when he thinks that we should be disagreed with.
Yep.
So go ahead.
How about my bonus? Does it do anything to my bonus?
We'll talk about the bonus.
All right.
Yeah.
No, I think honestly, I am just a regular guy who's on the show here with you guys, and I was very excited to come on here because what you guys and the show is about is being real, being true, and just having some inside information and knowing that there is no backdoor influencing happening with big networks or anything like that. You guys can say whatever you want, however you feel, however you're opinionated, and nothing is stopping you in the work that you guys put into the show. It's just awesome. It's been great to be a part of it, and I'm excited to do it. And yeah, there is no whatsoever going on behind it's what you guys want to do, and it's really something.
We want you guys to know that we're loyal to bringing you the truth. We turn down turned down so much, even with the Trump team. We turned down so much because there's such this fine line between talking pundits where they just want to be seen everywhere, but they're not really doing anything. You're just hanging out at Mar-a-Lago all the time, but for what? What are you really doing? It's more important to bring you guys the information. Anyway, that's all we got for this episode. If you enjoyed this, if this episode brought you something, we need you to hit that like button. We know it's MLK Day. Everybody's kind of slow, taking the time off, but we need your help. Hit that like button. If this is your first time watching the show, make sure to hit that follow button. Please go back and leave us a comment in the comment sections, not the live chat. We appreciate your guys' live chats, but we need comments in the actual comment section. We do try to go back and answer those as much as possible. And last but not least, share this far and wide. Todd, lead us out with a prayer.
Here we go. All right, let's bow. Father, we just thank you for another good day and another good show. Lord, I just ask that you keep everybody safe, especially in the southern part of the United States, where this weather, this cold weather and snow that we're not used to is going to be coming in. Lord, I just ask that you keep everybody safe, that you put your blanket of protection upon all the drivers that are going to be out on the roads going to and forth during these ice storms. Father, those two Navy SEALs, Father, they need you. You are the great healer. There is nothing that you can't accomplish, nothing that you can't do. Father, we pray for their families. We pray for their loved ones, and we ask that they be returned to us safely and swiftly. But, Father, most importantly, and over everything, we thank you. Lord, we thank you for the sacrifice that you made. Lord, we love you. We just... thank you so much for your grace and your mercy. And Father, I pray for any need that's out there right now, for anybody that can hear my voice. Lord, I just ask for any need or any prayer request that's out there, that you meet the person, that you fill that need, Lord, you fill that void in their lives. And Father, we ask all these things in your Son's name, and all God's people said,
Amen.
Amen.
All right. Tony, say goodbye.
Goodbye, y'all.
All right. And then, as always, I'm Graham Allen. Stay awake, not woke. Trust in God, not the government. And as always, go Bills and stay free.